During my last video, you learned about the 3 important lines that you need to identify and understand for every potential wager you can make, whether it be a wager on a particular team or the total for the game. The first line for a specific wagering opportunity is called the look-ahead line, and that is published before the close of games the day or night before in most sports, other than football, which is always over a week ahead. The second line is the opening line. And third, you need to know the current line. All 3 lines must be factored into your wagering decisions, but to evaluate them properly, you need more information. The first piece of additional information is the number of tickets written on a side or total, and the second is the proportion of money on that side or total. In my last video, I gave you an example of a recent February 22nd game between the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. Here was the final money flow for that game, reflected by the percentage of tickets written on each team in the first column, and the percentage of total amount of money written on that team in the second column. The Los Angeles Lakers had 36% of the tickets written, with 38% of the total money wagered on the +6.5 spread, and the Golden State Warriors had 64% of the tickets written, with 62% of the total money wagered on the -6.5 spread. I promised to show you the background on why this mundane line screamed that Golden State was a key best bet play. In this particular game, coming off of the All-Star break, the Golden State Warriors had a look-ahead line consistent with the opening line. Both were -3 at home versus the Los Angeles Lakers. When betting kicked off, the line began moving out with Golden State quickly reaching -5.5 on the following splits. The Los Angeles Lakers had 24% of the tickets written, with 15% of the total money wagered on the +5.5 spread. The Golden State Warriors had 78% of the tickets written, with 85% of the total money wagered on the -5.5 spread. This shows that 76% of the tickets were written on Golden State, with 85% of the money on them at 8 a.m. on the day of the game. The line established a set point at -5.5 with similar money until early afternoon, when it broke the set point and moved out further to -6 on the following splits. The Los Angeles Lakers had 32% of the tickets written, with 34% of the total money wagered on the +6 spread. The Golden State Warriors had 68% of the tickets written, with 66% of the total money wagered on the -6 spread. As you can see, the money favoring Golden State began to diminish compared to the earlier push. The numbers held until the line moved out again a couple hours before game time, this time with the money further diminishing. The Los Angeles Lakers had 36% of the tickets written, with 38% of the total money wagered on the +6.5 spread. The Golden State Warriors had 64% of the tickets written, with 62% of the total money wagered on the -6.5 spread. This signaled a key buy on the Golden State Warriors as the Las Vegas books kept pushing this line out, making Golden State more of a favorite as the money flipped to flow in on the Lakers. This is a concept called buyback, and it is one of the most important factors that you need to remember. When money begins moving a team out to be more of a favorite, or less of a dog, at least 2 points, but preferably 3 or 4 points on a side, and at 3 points or 4 to 5 points on a total, then you can start watching for buyback. Buyback is reflected in the total percentage of money being bet collapsing back toward the equality point of 50-50. If buyback occurs, as it did here in this scenario, and they move the line further out ignoring the buyback, this is a clear example of Las Vegas taking a hard stand on the favorite. Even though the bettors are pushing the money in on the Lakers, the books made it better and better for players to bet on the Lakers, which is quite opposite of what should happen if they were trying to balance the money on both sides. If they were trying to balance, you'd expect the game to move from -6 to -5.5, basically taking me off of the game. But instead, in the face of increased money, they move the game out even further. Now, it is reasonable for you to think, well, still 62% of the money was bet on Golden State Warriors, so that seems like a pretty weak buyback. But wait, you are still missing a piece that will pull it all together. If the game was a 10 p.m. Eastern start and it was going to tip off with 20,000 total tickets written on the game, about 3/4 of those bets were being placed during the buyback period. In other words, Las Vegas moved the game 2.5 points on Golden State based on about 1,500 tickets, and then 3 points based on 5,000 tickets. Then, as the last 15,000 tickets came in, pulling the numbers back towards 50-50, they moved it out again, begging players to bet on the dog, the Lakers, at an even better price. There are plenty of reasons the house may take a stand. Perhaps Vegas saw the sharps come in early on Golden State, or maybe they saw key square bettors who have trouble winning playing the Lakers. Las Vegas knows the players behind the bets and how they're doing generally, and if they are big players, whether they're hot or not. All of this matters. Or they could have more relevant injury news than the writers. There are lots of reasons. When the house makes a big move and continues to move against the buybacks, you go with the flow. It isn't an opinion that the house has an inborn advantage. They obviously do, as sportsbooks always make 20 to 30% on all action, which is far beyond the 5% profit you expect from balancing the sides. Seriously, knowing this, only a fool or a Laker fan would have pulled the trigger on the Lakers. The final score was Golden State 128 versus Lakers 110. And this does not work out perfectly every time. Perfection could only happen if humans didn't actually have to go out and play 4 12-minute quarters. There's off nights, hot nights, injuries. There are many ways the actual game can bite the house, but truthfully, they typically win 7 out of 10 of these, which results in huge profits for the sportsbook and huge ROIs if you play with the house and not against it.